Former Deputy President Mlambo-Ngcuka, the biggest issues in South Africa and, dare I say, on the continent today for women is a combination of poverty, inequality, and, of course, the violation of women's rights. How do these factors and these issues compare with the key focus areas that you'll be taking on as you take up this new portfolio?
In fact, that's exactly what the new portfolio is focusing on, Nozipho. The key focus areas of the program include violence against women, including violence in areas of conflict, as well as domestic violence. It includes poverty. It includes women's leadership and representation. And it includes also all the MDGs. And as you know, most of the MDGs which are focused on poverty are also very much about changing the situation for women.
Former Deputy President, you are, of course, the first African head of UN Women. What should the 4 billion women around the world expect from your tenure?
Oh, when you put it like that, it really feels heavy, I must say. As you know, this is a new institution. The different entities that have been joined together to make UN Women used to be a standalone program. One of the key strategic focus for me is going to be consolidating on the good work that was started by the first executive director, the former president of Chile, yes, and making sure that all of these areas hang together and that they also work with the other agencies of the UN, which are specializing by and large in areas that impact on women, such as WHO and UNICEF. But I'm also very much interested in UN institutions such as UNIDO, that deals a lot with industries and business, because therein lies a lot of opportunities for us to work together to address the issue of women's economic empowerment and to bring private sector much closer to the agenda for women, something that we've been trying to do in South Africa, as you know.
Of course, you've held a number of positions where you have always been advocating for gender empowerment, from the presidency in South Africa, the YWCA in Geneva, a number of other government postings in South Africa. How has this experience prepared you for the portfolio that you now take on?
I think one of the things that I've learned out of the different positions is that the women's issues are not women's responsibilities alone. And in fact, if we just leave the struggle for women's equality, emancipation and empowerment only on women, we will not get to where we want to get to. Women's empowerment is everybody's business. And trying to get on board everybody, as in men and major institutions, to make women, you know, more than half of the population in any country and in any context, a focus area is one of the things that I will be trying very hard, so that we can make very visible the plight of the women that we're talking about, which is there in every country in the world.
Of course, maybe a rather unfair question, but if we were to fast track forward to the end of your tenure as the head of UN Women, what would you consider a successful tenure?
You know, I mean, I haven't thought that far yet, but I can imagine if at least in the first 4 years for which I'm appointed, we have significantly increased the base and the stakeholders that are seized with the issues that affect women at strategic places and in a systematic way. I would consider that a very solid ground for addressing the challenges of women by different institutions who otherwise might have had it as a nice to do or as a low priority. If they could up the game, if we could position it better, if we could generate and allocate more resources for women, but more than anything else, take it serious. Take it serious and not just do it as a public relations activity, but have organizations take this as key issues. In the same way that we tried in South Africa to make education issues and skills issues a priority issues for CEOs of companies. so that when this issue is not being addressed, it is the CEO who must take the responsibility. We would like to see that. I would like to see that happen in relation to the women's agenda.
Former Deputy,
not just a desk of women.
Absolutely. Former Deputy President of South Africa, of course, congratulations on your appointment, and thank you so much for making the time to chat to us this evening.